Hey guys, Mr. Boss for the win here, and in today's video, we're going to be talking about a Rockstar Games fact that probably like 99% of you guys don't know about. And honestly, up until today, I didn't know about this either. I saw this post on GameSpot. It was actually done by Kurt Indovina, Lucy James, Adam Mason, and Chris Morris. They made a video and a post titled, "Remember when Rockstar made a movie?" And I was thinking to myself, like, Rockstar has made a movie? And I instantly thought of, like, did they do a Grand Theft Auto movie? Did they do one for Red Dead Redemption? Did they do one for Max Payne? Like, all of which I think would be really cool video games. Like, could you imagine if they turned the plot of GTA 4 or Grand Theft Auto 5 into a movie? Now, I don't know how they would do that, but it would be awesome. Even like Red Dead Redemption 2. Like, it would be so cool to see characters on the video game screen be turned into characters on the big screen. Like, that would be amazing. Well, it looks like Rockstar Games has actually had their hand in making two particular films. Now, both these films, you probably have no idea what they are, so let's actually dive into those right now. The first film is actually called The Football Factory, which is a 2004 British sports drama. And this was the first foray into filmmaking by video game producers Rockstar Games, which were credited as executive producers. Now, the film only released in the United Kingdom on May 14th, 2004. If you guys are interested in The Football Factory or you want to actually watch it, I'll leave a link to some resources in the description. It actually sounds pretty interesting, and it's super weird that Rockstar dipped their toe into this. But it's also not surprising because it's a smaller film. It came out in the UK, which is where we know Rockstar North, their main studios are located in Edinburgh, Scotland. So that one honestly makes sense. And the other film that Rockstar is credited with is called Sunday Driver. It's a 2005 documentary film that features California's oldest lowrider car club, the Majestics. And the movie was produced by Rockstar Games in association with Fast Ashley's Films and distributed by Palm Pictures. And this documentary was available as a DVD and was also included in the special edition of Grand Theft Auto San Andreas when it ended up releasing. So those are the two movies that Rockstar Games have had a particular affinity in, which is kind of peculiar, and we obviously haven't seen them dip their toe into anything ever since. So I wonder if this is something Rockstar was like trying to get into in the early 2000s, which is why we saw it in 2004, 2005, and then honestly nothing after that. Because ever since then, Rockstar have been very critical of the movie industry. In fact, not only have they disagreed with a lot of things going on in Hollywood and movies, but they've also gone on record saying, like, this is something we're not going to do. Like, for example, back in November 2019, Take-Two Interactive executive and CEO Strauss Zelnick explains why a Grand Theft Auto movie has not been made yet and probably won't. So Strauss Zelnick did an interview with The Wrap, and he ended up saying this: "Part of it is, if we were to do something like that, we'd want to have complete creative control to make sure we expressed Grand Theft Auto in the way we wanted. And that would mean we'd need to finance that motion picture." And he says, "We don't have the corporate expertise to do that because only a handful of people inside of Take-Two have ever worked in that business." And going on to say, "You have the most valuable intellectual property ever created by mankind, Grand Theft Auto. We wholly own and control it. Are we really going to let go of that and hope that someone, no matter how talented they are, will really do a good job of it?" And so basically, Rockstar and Take-Two Interactive have two big issues with this. Number one, the money it takes to end up creating a film because they want to do it their own. And the reason they want to do it on their own is because they feel like their intellectual property is so valuable that if they gave it to someone else, there's a chance they could screw it up or at least not make it as good as they would if they wanted to do it themselves. Now, that's not the only time that Take-Two Interactive and Rockstar Games themselves have been a little bit fussy with Hollywood in the movie industry. So back in 2015, the BBC put out a documentary that was basically all about the controversies caused by Grand Theft Auto. And it involved Rockstar and basically a parody of them. And Rockstar had nothing to do with this project, but they were not all that happy about it. In fact, they ended up suing the BBC over the movie that ended up coming out. Now, Rockstar Games said that the reason they were suing was because they wanted to make sure their trademarks are not misused, but it was also like a pretty poor representation of Rockstar themselves. They went on to say, our goal is to ensure that our trademarks are not misused in the BBC's pursuit of an unofficial depiction of events related to Rockstar Games. We have attempted multiple times to resolve this matter with the BBC without any meaningful resolution. And the BBC ended up saying that they won't comment on legal matters. So needless to say, Rockstar does not have a great relationship when it comes to people making movies about them, movies about Grand Theft Auto, movies in general. And just knowing Rockstar themselves, I feel like they just like to keep their head down. They want to focus on what they do well, and that is creating video games. Although, as I mentioned earlier in this video, it would be downright incredible if they were to come up with movies for the plot of like Grand Theft Auto and Max Payne. I mean, that would be amazing. Now, I'm a little skeptical on how well it would turn out, so I kind of agree with Strauss-Zelnick because pretty much every like video game movie that's been made, with a few exceptions, have like not all been that great. I'm sure you guys have seen some of them in theaters or on like Netflix or streaming platforms. They're just never as good as the video games when you have like the controller in your hand and you're playing it yourself. So I wonder if that's part of the reason why Rockstar is a little bit skeptical here about making the jump to something like that, is because maybe they would believe people would see the film or the movie and say, ooh, wait a minute, if the game is anything like this, I'm really not that interested in playing it. So bottom line, and the point I wanted to get across in this video, is Rockstar have actually made 2 movies. Like, they've been involved in the production of 2 of them that have come out and made hundreds of thousands of dollars. Now, I didn't know about these movies one bit. I didn't know that Rockstar Games was involved with them at all. But it is still pretty cool that this is something they have dipped their toes into. And it does make you wonder if they will ever go back to this in the future. Now, I'm sure what's happened this year in 2020 with the pandemic and everything else that's gone on has probably like put a nail in that coffin altogether, because I don't even know, like, are any movies even coming out right now? Like, where would you go watch them? In like the theater, or are they going to be like streamed to your like TV? Like, see, that's the thing. I have no idea how that sort of stuff works. I'm sure Rockstar has weighed that out as well. I'm sure they are focused on much bigger things at the moment. But it's still a pretty cool fun fact that I'm sure a lot of you guys had no idea about. So I would, of course, love to hear from you guys in the comments down below. If you are one of the 1% of fans that I thought would only know about this, let me know in the comments down below. Or were you like the rest of the 99% of us like me up until today that had no idea what was going on here and what Rockstar was doing with films and movies? Let me know what you guys are thinking in those comments down below. I'd love to hear from you guys down there. If you guys did go on to enjoy this video, though, a like rating would, of course, be awesome. And be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel if you are new, or you want to stay up to date on all the latest GTA and Red Dead Redemption videos that I'm doing here on my channel. And be sure to ring that notification bell as well. Sometimes YouTube just doesn't work, and if you ring that bell, you'll always be guaranteed to be notified when new videos arrive. But of course, as always, guys, thank you all so much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next video.